Where did you start?
You're talking about Beyond the Sugar.
Yeah.
Okay. So basically, this started back in March last year. So while we were building ONDC, there were two major flaws. One was that the business model itself was flawed. So there were a lot of what ifs. So whenever you build a business model, we realize, and after talking to a lot of investors, after talking to a lot of mentors, we realize that the what ifs in the business model were were basically not in our control. Like for example, what if government rolls back ONDC or it does not extend financial support to ONDC to help it grow to levels at which it wants to go to? Secondly, what if buyers, that is the consumers, the end consumers, don't buy from ONDC related apps? What if the businesses don't come on board ONDC and don't, basically create the supply side of things? And the fourth what if was, of course, would we be able to execute or not? So वो पहले तीन what ifs ही थे जो इतने बड़े what if थे, and that's where the business model DC take off करने की कोशिश तो कर रहा था, but it could not take off. So हमें पता था हमें pivot करना है. During that point of time, because we were very close to the e-commerce, and during this point of time, while we were building Seller Setu, we were thinking what to build next. So we were thinking about AI. Since we've been building tech, we were trying to build something in at the intersection of finance and AI, something for fintechs or for banks, NBFCs. We tried making a prototype for that. We tried making a AI product for interior designers, architects. So at that point of time, it was just 3 months of ideating. We ideated on upon at least 30 to 40 ideas. But during that point of time, something was happening in the background where my father was going through some health issues. So he is a banker and he has a very sedentary lifestyle. So he was going through health issues where he was diagnosed with diabetes. But the worst part was that he also had fatty liver, he also had sleep apnea, he was obese, he had hypertension. So at that point of time, he realized that either he starts taking medication and it goes on for lifetime, और ही बेसिकली मेक सम लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस. तो उन्होंने 3 महीना कंप्लीटली अपने आप को दिया, वेरी जस्ट मेड 3 सिंपल लाइफस्टाइल चेंजेस. ही लेफ्ट wheat and rice, replaced that with millets, and he left out refined sugar, brown sugar, jaggery, dates, everything. So during those 3 months, his weight reduced by 12 kgs. He reversed his diabetes, went back from diabetic HbA1c levels to normal HbA1c levels. He reversed 70% of his fatty liver, non-alcoholic fatty liver. He reversed his sleep apnea. So he said, if you can basically reduce the exposure of sugar that Indians are exposed to on a daily basis in their diets, that would be a massive, massive problem that you'd be solving. So that's when we got onto it, and वहाँ से ये चालू हुआ फिर. So this was March 2025 last year.
So I understood this, but can I take a step back? And I'm really interested in like how you took the pivot, because I think it's very difficult for entrepreneurs to like understand that this is not going well. We have to change the direction of the company. We
Yeah,
have to do something else. And I think Seller Setu is one of the greatest example of Bits Pilani. And I would also like you to take one step back and come to the fact that I think you are graduated now and you didn't take the safe route of getting a job. So, can you take me through this decision cycle that you took from not taking a job, then pivoting into D2C? And I found the idea of product market fit quite good, because you found a problem in your own life, like in your father's life, and just went ahead and tried to solve in that direction. But how did you pivot from the original idea? And like in the first place, how did you get that courage to take the risk in the first place of not getting into placements?
understood. So I think the most important part was being surrounded by the right people. The co-founders that I have, that is Agman and Priyanshu. So we've been knowing each other for the last 6 years, 6.5 years now. Uh, from the time we connected, एक ही चीज था कि यार कुछ बहुत इम्पैक्टफुल और बहुत बड़ा बनाना है, एंड उसके लिए भले ही प्लेसमेंट जॉब ये सब छोड़ना पड़े कुछ टाइम के लिए, वी फोरगो इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन ऑफ getting salary in our bank accounts. We were ready to do that. Being a solo founder, hats off to anyone who is a solo founder or who wants to be, but that is very difficult because during the early stages आपको ऐसा लगता है जब आप रोज उठते हो कि यार क्या ही कर रहे हो आप, जब आप रोज सुबह उठते हो. So at that point of time when you have people with similar mindsets around you, that is the biggest thing that helps you, and that is the main reason why we did not even think of setting up placements. My co-founders received offers worth 24-30 lakhs off campus, but they rejected it I mean outright. There was no second thoughts to it, and उसकी कभी बात ही नहीं हुई ये बारे में in the last 3.5-4 years of building. कभी बात नहीं हुई है, not even a single moment, because हमें पता है we are ready to forgo that instant gratification, and we are ready to build heads down, and मतलब भले ही उसमें 3-4-5 failures लग जाए, but we'll not be basically leaving this path now. That's for sure.
Let's come to pivoting. Like,
yeah. So pivot हमारा बहुत natural नहीं था. हम पहले tech business बना रहे थे, so we were thinking of building a AI business only. AI के अंदर we were thinking of building AI for fintechs. That is where you're building a system where you can analyze thousands or lakhs of loan applications efficiently. That reduces manual paperwork, that reduces manpower cost and everything. But again, that was a big what if. And the second main thing was we were not coming from very relevant backgrounds. Cracking anything in finance, fintech, or related to fintechs, you need to have someone who is from that banking
yes,
or finance background, who has been in that background, or you are a veteran of that background, or you have someone who's a mentor who holds some equity. Otherwise, people don't trust you, your customers don't trust you, who are in the end NBFCs and fintechs. So वो हमने
right.
बनाने का try किया, but again it was not working out. And हमें एक चीज समझ में आ गई थी, whenever you think of something, take time. I mean आप आराम से time लेके सोचो, आप लो उसके लिए 2 महीना 3 महीना, but when you finalize कि हाँ अब ये हो गया, अब ये सोच लिया है मैंने, when you come to execution, then execute and fail fast. So that is a basically culture that we have. Ideate slowly, but execute and fail fast. Why fail fast? We're not heading uh, for failure, but we know for sure कि हमारा पहला दूसरा तीसरा प्रोडक्ट सक्सीड नहीं करने वाला. It's going to take a lot of iterations. So iteration एक हफ्ते में हो वो better है, rather than carrying a dead body for 2 months and realizing कि यार ये तो work ही नहीं कर रहा है, अब हमें इसको बंद करना है. So that was the thought process जहाँ पे हमें क्लिक किया कि यार अब इसको कैरी नहीं करना है. 6 महीने में हमें समझ में आ गया कि इसके अंदर डिपेंडेंसीज बहुत है. भले ही 5-6 करोड़ तक स्केल कर लिया था, बट बिजनेस मॉडल में फ्लॉ था. कल को अगर ओएनडीसी बंद हो जाता, कल को अगर गवर्नमेंट सपोर्ट विड्रॉ कर लेती, कल को अगर सेलर्स नहीं आते, सप्लाई नहीं बन पाती, सो वी वर एट रिस्क ऑफ लूजिंग एवरीथिंग. सो हमें पहले रियलाइज हो गया, एंड आज हम देखते तो हम वी आर हैप्पी दैट वी टुक दैट डिसीजन.
I think ONDC had a lot of hype behind it initially when it got launched, and बहुत सारी companies tried to capitalize on the hype, but it didn't turn out to be as good as UPI or things like that. So, coming back to one question that I had in mind is, you had a revenue of I think you said around 6 crore. I think that's a very good number to raise funds and like venture out into this space only. So, like, what did you do? Did you shut down the company completely, or like, how did you went into the next venture? Because I think there is a lot of compliance that goes into
so
completely.
I'll tell you what happens. If you build something, if you build a tech, and if you can utilize it in some way, कि यार आपको royalty आ रही है, or you can sell it to someone who purchases it and gives you a decent value, using which you can bootstrap your next venture, you should do that. So consider this as a side hustle. So हमने जो build किया था, luckily, fortunately, currently some MNCs are using it, जिससे हमें एक अच्छा खासा amount monthly basis पे आता है as a royalty. So imagine a Netflix subscription that's for which you're paying. So वैसे कुछ companies है जो हमारे tech के लिए pay कर रही है, and उनके साथ ईयरली कॉन्ट्रैक्ट्स, बाई ईयरली मतलब बाई ईयरली कॉन्ट्रैक्ट साइन होते हैं एनुअल, मतलब एनुअल बेसिस पे. सो वी डोंट हैव टू वरी अबाउट दैट. मेंटेनेंस वर्क है, वी डोंट हैव टू स्पेंड मोर देन एन आवर और टू ऑन द टेक, एंड रॉयल्टी आ रही है जिससे हमें बहुत सारा हेल्प हुआ टू बूटस्ट्रैप दिस नेक्स्ट वेंचर. सो यू शुड लुक एट opportunities where you can sell it to someone for a SaaS service kind of a thing, agar tech hai, or you can sell it to someone who needs to buy it. And right now in the market, if you're there and if you're searching for the right people, you will have AI companies that are ready to buy your code base to train their AI agents on. Basically, we were
Hmm.
approached by a couple of companies who wanted to buy our code base, but since we are already providing service to certain MNCs, it would have been wrong on our part to back out of the service contract, because these guys are paying us so on a monthly basis. So हमने बेचा नहीं हमारा कोड बेस, लेकिन यहाँ पे बहुत AI companies है in India, globally. If you search for them,
I know there are a lot of companies that aggregate data.
code base. If you have a good code base, so
Yeah,
anyone can capitalize on that basically. So yeah, that was. And इसमें compliance इससे नहीं आया क्योंकि parent company can be the same. You can have IP rights for the brand under the same parent company. So Beyond the
okay,
Sugar is under the same parent company as Ceres to Private Limited. आपको कुछ चेंज कराना पड़ता है, वो होता है MOA के अंदर, that is Memorandum of Association. And
okay.
वो एक डॉक्यूमेंट होता है, वो डॉक्यूमेंट में चेंज कराने के लिए टेक्स अबाउट अ वीक और टू. नॉट अ वेरी टफ टास्क. सीए कर देता है, जिसमें
Like
आप नेचर ऑफ बिजनेस एडिट कर देते हो, नथिंग एल्स.
understood. So, like coming to the next question, which is like I think you would find this interesting as well. Like, I think how did you crack distribution? Like in even in previous company and currently in Beyond the Sugar, because I think these two are completely different companies, and you might have to approach this in a completely different way.
Okay, so basically, I'll tell you. So before understanding how to crack the distribution, I think it's very important to understand कि PMF आज की तारीख में is a obsolete मतलब fundamental to build your company upon. So product market fit is, I think, incomplete. It should be product price acquisition channel fit. Okay. So प्रोडक्ट तो आपने बना दिया, वो किस प्राइस पे किस चैनल पे बिकेगा और क्या कस्टमर उसको उस चैनल पे उस प्राइस पे एक्सेप्ट करेगा, दैट इज द मेन थिंग दैट यू नीड टू लुक आफ्टर. You made a 1,000 rupee product, okay, and you're selling it on Amazon in a category where your competitors are selling it for 500 rupees or 600 rupees. नहीं खरीदने वाले आपको कोई product. But for example, if you're selling that same 1,000 rupee product on your own website via Meta ads, Google ads, if people can perceive the value through the messaging that you've given on the website, people will buy that 1,000 rupee product on the website, but they'll not buy the same product on Amazon. तो यहाँ पे प्राइस आपके चैनल के हिसाब से चेंज होती है एंड आपके टारगेट ऑडियंस के हिसाब से चेंज होती है. तो आपको प्राइस, प्रोडक्ट प्राइस एक्विजिशन चैनल पे ढूंढना है यहाँ पे, एंड दैट goes on for all the products that you launch, for any product, right? So हमने हमारा सबसे पहले टारगेट ऑडियंस देखा. हमारा जो प्रोडक्ट है हमें पता था कि उसका कॉस्ट जो है वो ज्यादा होने वाला है, इंग्रेडिएंट कॉस्ट इज गोइंग टू बी मोर.
Yes.
तो वी वांटेड टू, हमें पता था कि ये प्रीमियम प्रोडक्ट बनने वाला है, कॉस्टली प्रोडक्ट बनने वाला है. सो हमारा जो टारगेट ऑडियंस है, दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द टॉप 1% ऑफ इंडिया. वी वर वेरी श्योर अबाउट दैट ड्यूरिंग द 6 months ऑफ R&D दैट वी वर डूइंग. हमें 6 महीने का लगभग R&D लगा था, मार्च से लेके सितंबर अक्टूबर तक. तो हमने वो फिगर आउट कर लिया था. हमें पता था कि हमें अगर इस कस्टमर तक पहुंचना है तो हम ऑफलाइन वाले चैनल्स में नहीं जा सकते. मॉडर्न ट्रेड, कि मॉडर्न ट्रेड नीड्स वैलिडेशन, नीड्स नंबर्स. So the easiest way to start something, if you have a product, food के अंदर, beauty, personal care, fashion, anything, home and decor, if you have a product in any of this space, the easiest way to do is marketplaces. Easiest channel. Marketplace के ऊपर 100 रिव्यू आ जाए, आपने 1000 कस्टमर्स अक्वायर कर लिए थ्रू मार्केट प्लेसेस दैट आर फ्लिपकार्ट, अमेजोन, नायका, मिंत्रा, व्हाटएवर. वहां से फिर आप अपने वेबसाइट पे शिफ्ट करो. दैट शुड बी द गोल. So get your first 1,000 customers through marketplaces because those are mature places. वहाँ पे the ROI is the highest. You require very less investment. 15-20 हजार, 30 हजार के साथ आप मैक्स मार्केट प्लेसेस के ऊपर चालू कर सकते हो. नथिंग मोर देन दैट. 2-3 चीजों का ध्यान रखना होता है मार्केट प्लेसेस के ऊपर कि आपका सप्लाई सॉर्टेड होना चाहिए. ठीक है. You should have a supply worth 1 month. You should not go out of stock. It affects very negatively. ठीक है. And secondly, you should focus on maximizing reviews in the early phases. ठीक है. You should focus on that. 100 reviews तक आ गए, आपने 1000 कस्टमर्स को भेज दिया. Now this is a PMF, PPCMF, प्रोडक्ट प्राइस पैनल मार्केट फिट.
customer. Yes.
PPCMF हो गया आपका. अब आपने मार्केट प्लेस का बेसिक्स क्रैक कर लिया. नाउ यू मूव ऑन टू वेबसाइट. वेबसाइट पे यू स्टार्ट डूइंग परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग, मेटा एड्स, गूगल एड्स. सो वहां से यू अक्वायर कस्टमर्स. एंड एक चीज होती है, इफ यू आर बिल्डिंग a D2C brand, that is a direct to customer brand where you're selling directly to the customer, उसमें आपको बहुत ज्यादा पैसा चाहिए होता है. इट इज अ बर्न बिजनेस.
Performance.
चार्ट NPD होता है. द फर्स्ट थिंग इज NPD फॉर एनी बिजनेस बिल्डिंग. इन द कंज्यूमर साइड यू हैव टू डेवलप योर प्रोडक्ट. सेकंड आता है सैम्पलिंग, where you get people to try your product, whether it is a beauty, food, whatever. Third is new customer acquisition, NAC. Okay, NCA, sorry. And the last is retention. ये 4 चीजों के ऊपर होता है. 4 चीजों में डिवाइड होता है. It's a very simple playbook. And sampling and new customer acquisition, these two require very deep pockets, very deep pockets. So you need to be prepared to burn money over here. जहाँ पे तुम लोगों को सैंपल करवा रहे हो, अपना प्रोडक्ट ट्राई करवा रहे हो और तुम नए कस्टमर्स एक्वायर कर रहे हो, you need to be ready. Why I said marketplaces should be the first thing where you acquire customers, क्योंकि marketplaces पे relatively burn बहुत कम होता है as compared to acquiring through your own website, creating your own website and acquiring customers. तो अगर पैसा कम है, starting में funding नहीं है, bootstrap कर रहे हो, the best place is to go to marketplaces because you have a mature audience over there already.
Right. I think ads, performance ads is like one of the metrics which is very difficult to crack for many D2C brands. Because if you run a lot of performance marketing and you're reliant on performance marketing, it is very difficult to build a brand in long term if you're completely reliant on performance marketing, for example. So, like, what are your views on creating a brand for long term? So you're not completely dependent upon Meta or Google Ads, and you can grow beyond just performance marketing to have better customer retention and better control over the supply and demand of your product.
See, I tell you now, there are 2-3 things. Performance marketing is inevitable for a brand that is building in the consumer space. करना ही पड़ेगा. गूगल मेटा एड्स चलाने ही पड़ेंगे, उसके बिना नहीं कर सकते हो. Unless you are an offline heavy brand, of course. ठीक है. That depends on category to category and the target audience again. अगर आपका target audience एकदम tier 3, tier 4 cities है, if your target audience is that, just for example, Lahari Jeera is the perfect example. 500 crores in revenue, 3,000 crore valuation, 95% revenue still comes from offline distribution. उनका target audience. अगर आपको tier 1 cities, tier 2 cities के अंदर बेचना है, customer is shifting online, performance marketing is inevitable. Now there are 2 major changes that have happened. Customer acquisition cost on these platforms, specifically on Meta, which is one of the biggest platforms for products. Meta के ऊपर ये customer acquisition cost 3x हो गया over the last 3 to 5 years. 3x. So for example, if to acquire a customer, it costed me 100 rupees 3 years back, it now costs me 300 rupees. Because पहले अगर 100 advertisers थे, अभी 1000 advertisers हैं. वो fighting for the same audience. Right? So आपको एक चीज हमेशा factor in करनी है, you'll never be profitable in your first purchase. Never. If you are profitable, you have, I mean, you're an outlier. You're an exception. That's exceptional. आपका बहुत अच्छा fit ढूंढ लिया आपने. Customer is extremely willing to buy your product. उसको बहुत ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है, and there are no other people. If you get profitable in the first purchase, that's a very good thing. And if you can sustain it for months on months, ठीक है. But businesses, I don't know if you've heard about Humpy Farms. It's a
No.
business. It's a company that sells A to cow milk, right?
Okay.
उसके लिए सबसे बड़ा, it's a very big company now. Humpy A2 Farms milk. It's one of the biggest sellers of milk on Blinkit, Zepto, Quick Commerce, everything. उनका वेबसाइट पे their first purchase is never profitable. वो profitable होते हैं 3 purchases के बाद. So the model that they run is, in this commodity business, they run a subscription model where they ask people to subscribe to for let's say 1 month or 2 months or 3 months. And वो जब तीसरे महीने पे पहुंचता है सब्सक्रिप्शन, या दूसरे महीने में पहुंचता है, तब जाके वो लोग प्रॉफिटेबल होते हैं for this one specific customer. So more important metric right now जो सबसे ज्यादा सेंस बनाती है, that is LTV to CAC ratio. This is the North Star metric for any brand that is building in the consumer space. Any brand. LTV to CAC ratio आपका 3 से ऊपर होना चाहिए. That is the North Star metric. आप ROAS 2 के ऊपर का, 2.5 के ऊपर का नहीं लेके आ पाओगे. एंड फॉर मोस्ट प्रोडक्ट्स, परफॉर्मेंस मार्केटिंग के अंदर आपका ROAS अगर 2 या 2.5 के नीचे है, यू आर गोइंग टू बी burning money. But you have to try and get that customer back again through your messaging, through your product. Of course, the product has to be good. That is bare minimum. Through your messaging, WhatsApp, email, through your inserts, आप product के अंदर क्या डालते हो, unboxing experience. Now everything matters. आप क्या करके उस कस्टमर को वापस लेके आ रहे हो, एंड कितने टाइम तक आप उसको अपने साथ जुड़ा हुआ रख सकते हो, दैट इज ऑफ मोर इम्पोर्टेंस राइट नाउ देन मेकिंग द फर्स्ट परचेज प्रॉफिटेबल. So instead of chasing ROAS, I think we all should accept and factor in that performance marketing is going to be a loss-making business. Matter of fact, 90% of biggest brands that you're seeing right now on Instagram are burning money or are losing money on the new customer that they're acquiring. उनका पैसा तब बनता है जब वो कस्टमर वापस आता है या तीसरे टाइम वापस आता है. That depends on the margin, basically. For some it may be second purchase, for some it may be fifth purchase as well. So you need to aim for a lifetime value to customer acquisition cost ratio of greater than 3, and that is what you should be optimizing for.
Very interesting answer, Vivek. I used to think linearly about CAC, like you have to be profitable from your first purchase only. But like if you don't have deeper pockets, I think most of the people start thinking, how can I be profitable from the first purchase only? But again, coming to the next question, I think so. You went into D2C directly from a tech product, and I think it is very interesting because a lot of companies in India are doing D2C through different channels, quick commerce to Amazon or these marketplaces. And there are companies which are now getting into offline distribution. So like, I would like to understand how you think about distributing your product through quick commerce and these different channels basically.
So if you're selling to the tier 1 audience or top 1% of the audience, which basically contributes 75% of revenue in the consumer space, for your information, it is inevitable for you to be on quick commerce, and quick commerce is going to be a heavy cash burn business for the first 1 year or 1.5 years. You have to accept that again. अगर आप वहाँ पे नहीं हो, you will eventually lose out your brand. You also have got approved on Blinkit, Zepto, First Club, Swiggy, Instamart, Amazon now के बात चल रही है, and it is absolutely necessary for us to be on quick commerce. It's not a good to have thing, it's a need to have thing. Quick commerce. आज जो ऑडियंस टॉप 1% में या टियर 1 हम बोल रहे हैं, जो कि नए अच्छे प्रोडक्ट्स खरीदना चाहती है, that is shopping from quick commerce. The strategy over there can be a bit different कि आप चालू सैम्पलिंग के साथ करो. ये सारी क्विक कॉमर्स कंपनी सैम्पलिंग वाली सर्विसेज ऑफर करती है. फॉर एग्जांपल, यू ऑर्डर समथिंग फ्रॉम ब्लिंकिट, वो बैग के अंदर एक सैंपल भी भेज देंगे किसी और कंपनी का. So that is how you get discovered on these quick commerce platforms. तो सैम्पलिंग वाली सर्विसेज ऑफर करती है, डोंट नेसेसरली नीड टू गेट लिस्टेड. यू गेट लिस्टेड इफ यू हैव सम सप्लाई चेन इश्यूज, जो कि आपके स्टार्टिंग में बहुत होंगे. सप्लाई चेन
Right.
इज अ वेरी बिग फैक्टर. एंड सप्लाई चेन इनका बहुत हैफिजट तरीके से चलता है. किसी दिन 100 पैकेट्स का पीओ भेजेंगे, किसी दिन लाख पैकेट्स का पीओ भेजेंगे, यू नेवर नो. ठीक है, सो यू नीड टू बी प्रिपेयर्ड इन एडवांस सप्लाई चेन के लिए व्हेन यू गेटिंग लिस्टेड ऑन क्विक कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म्स फॉर एनी प्रोडक्ट. And you also need to do heavy sampling. Again, this is a very big cash burn thing. Sampling में आपका पैसा जाएगा ही जाएगा. You need to factor in that. And quick commerce के अंदर आपका पहला 1-1.5 साल पैसा जाएगा. On an average, these platforms take 35 to 40% in total.
I would like
From
to
it.
understand like how sampling converts customer in like these quick commerce platform, because how you are providing samples, like, and how do you know ki customer would come back and buy your product later on?
So I'll tell you, for example, uh, you order something from Blinkit. Okay, you
Yeah.
order fruits and vegetables, and you're a customer who's been ordering health food items and supplements through Blinkit, for example. Now,
Okay.
Blinkit knows that you're someone who loves to have supplements, or you're a customer where you focus your health first kind of a person. So they also send you a sachet of Beyond the Sugar super sweetener in that bag just for you to try, free of cost. That is how sampling works. So I send some of my samples to Blinkit's warehouses. Blinkit is smart enough to know where that is going to be placed, and it drops these samples in these bags in the orders that are getting delivered to customers who have a history of ordering supplements or health items, wellness items, and that is how sampling is done. हमें कराने की जरूरत इससे नहीं पड़ेगी because we are already verified. We already have a PMF on marketplace on our website.
Yeah.
Uh, and the good part is that if you have a product or a category that is growing, these brands come to you upfront, and they, I mean, you have a upper hand in the negotiations. So अगर मैं एक rough unit economics का idea दूं, यूनिट इकोनॉमिक्स इसके ऊपर कैसे वर्क करती है. जनरली 35% इनका कमीशन होता है. देन दे हैव अ स्टोरेज चार्ज ऑफ ₹1 per day per product that you get placed in the warehouse, जो आप प्लेस करवाते हो वेयरहाउस के अंदर. तो अगर आपका वो प्रोडक्ट 7 दिन तक नहीं बिका तो आपका ₹7 का कॉस्ट उसके ऊपर जुड़ गया है. 15 दिन तक नहीं बिका तो 15 दिन का कॉस्ट जुड़ गया. एंड मेजर प्रोडक्ट्स के ऊपर ₹15 से ₹20 का मार्जिन होता है अगर आप मीडियम टिकट साइज प्रोडक्ट की बात करो.
Right.
15 दिन तक अगर आपका प्रोडक्ट नहीं बिका क्विक कॉमर्स वेयरहाउस के अंदर तो आपका वहां पे लॉस हो गया, और कमीशन जो है वो तो आपका लग ही रहा है. लॉजिस्टिक्स चार्ज ये लोग लेते हैं 50 से ₹100 ऑन एन एवरेज, ₹50 फॉर स्मॉलर प्रोडक्ट्स. तो यू आर पेइंग फॉर श्योर 40 to 45% to these platforms on an optimistic side when you get listed.
Mm.
लेकिन ऐसा होता नहीं है. आपका प्रोडक्ट स्टार्ट में मूव करता नहीं है ज्यादा. यू नीड टू मार्केट, एड चलाने पड़ते हैं, एंड एड का कॉस्ट जुड़ा के इस प्लेटफॉर्म के ऊपर आपका 60 से 70% चला जाता है. 30% बचता है, एंड 30% से तो ज्यादा ही होता है अपना कॉग्स जनरली अर्ली स्टेजेस के
Right.
अंदर. कैन नॉट हैव इकोनॉमीज ऑफ स्केल, सो यू हैव अ कॉग्स ऑफ अबाउट 40-45%. तो आप 15 से 20% लॉस पकड़ के ही चलो क्विक कॉमर्स प्लेटफॉर्म्स के ऊपर स्टार्ट के अंदर. दैट इज what you should factor in, and you should be prepared for, and you should raise accordingly. अगर मेरे को 1 करोड़ की सेल्स करनी है 1 महीने के अंदर तो मेरे को 15 लाख बर्न करना पड़ेगा. तो 15 लाख अगर मेरे को 10 महीने सस्टेन करना ऑन एन एवरेज, तो मेरे को 1.5 से 2 करोड़ तो खाली क्विक कॉमर्स पे स्केल करने के लिए चाहिए. That is how you will be raising funds. So that is how you design your ask as well. There was a
So
question.
you can raise funds for D2C brands, and is it recommended that you should raise funds for a D2C brand, like initially in initial stages?
D2C, I'll just मतलब एक चीज मैं बताता हूँ. So D2C is a channel. ठीक है, मैं एक फूड ब्रांड हूँ, मेरे पास मल्टीपल चैनल्स हैं. मार्केट प्लेस इज वन चैनल, D2B is one channel where I sell to businesses, and D2C is one channel. D2C is basically मैं डायरेक्टली कस्टमर को बेच रहा हूँ. अब वो हो सकता है मैं मेरा स्टोर लगा लूँ ऑफलाइन, बियॉन्ड द शुगर का मॉल के अंदर स्टोर लगा के वहां से बेच रहा हूँ. हो सकता है मैं ऑनलाइन मेरी वेबसाइट से बेच रहा हूँ. तो D2C एज अ चैनल contributes 40% to my sales. Marketplaces contribute लगभग 40%, and 20% is B2B. So that is my breakdown currently. So D2C तो अब मैं बताता हूँ चैनल वाइज ROI डिफर करता है. मार्केट प्लेसेस में आप प्रॉफिटेबल हो सकते हो फ्रॉम डे वन.
right.
फ्रॉम डे वन यू कैन बी प्रॉफिटेबल ऑन मार्केट प्लेसेस. मार्केट प्लेसेस में क्विक कॉमर्स इंक्लूड नहीं कर रहा हूँ. क्विक कॉमर्स इज अ डिफरेंट चैनल. अपन ने अभी बात की 15 से 20% उसमें यू टेक लॉस. Marketplaces as a channel can be profitable from day one. So अगर आप कोई भी प्रोडक्ट चालू करो, start from marketplaces. Second is D2C because that's where you can control your customer. You can have their data. You can know their behavior. आप उनके साथ interact कर सकते हो. आपके पास उनका phone number होता है. आप उनको WhatsApp पे contact कर सकते हो, बात कर सकते हो. You can get their feedback easily. Amazon पे ऐसा नहीं होता है.
Mm.
Marketplaces पे ऐसा नहीं होता है. And third channel is B2B. If you have a product which can be used by other businesses, sell it to them as well. White label कर सकते हो आप, sell कर सकते हो.
Yes,
So B2B is always profitable.
right.
So B2C and marketplaces bring in the cash. D2C is where you get to know about the customer behavior, you control the customer, and you hope that they start buying from the website क्योंकि वहाँ पे inherent margin ज़्यादा होते हैं, कोई commission नहीं होता है, platform commission. But to get a person to my website through meta ads, मेरा major cost उसमें चला जाता है. So I know my customer is not going to be profitable from the first purchase. He is going to be profitable from the second purchase. So say I have a subscription plan on my page, which ensures that most of the customers choose a subscription plan. मैं इतना lucrative बना देता हूँ subscription plan कि one time purchase seems irrelevant for most of the people. So D2C अगर आप brand हो, जहाँ I think it's wrong to call any consumer brand
Yes,
a D2C brand. It is a brand of for of which D2C is a channel. Any consumer brand raising money is I think needed. It's
yeah,
not
I
a
understood.
it's a necessity right now. I'll tell you why. Because consumer के अंदर build करने में you need I
Mm.
mean very big budget for marketing and sampling, new customer acquisition and sampling. एंड अगर आप वो नहीं करते हो तो आज के तारीख में जो पहले 1.5 से 2 साल लगता था कस्टमर्स को या कॉम्पिटिटर्स को आपका प्रोडक्ट कॉपी करने में, आज वो 2 से 3 महीना हो गया. इट्स आइदर डू और डाई. तो आइदर ग्रोइंग और डाइंग. ठीक है, अगर आप ग्रो नहीं करो तो यूर डाइंग. तो यू नाउ नीड टू इंश्योर दैट योर कॉम्पिटिटर्स cannot make the same product as you at least for the next 5 or 6 months. उतना ही टाइम है आपके पास. 5 से 6 महीने का टाइम होता है हर इंडस्ट्री के अंदर, कंज्यूमर के अंदर. आज ये टाइम बहुत कोलैप्स हो चुका है. 5 से 6 महीने आपके पास. उसके बाद में यू विल सी कॉम्पिटिटर्स मेकिंग द सेम थिंग. तो अगर आपको 5 से 6 महीने में ग्रो करना है, इट इज इमिनेंट दैट यू नीड कैपिटल, एक्सटर्नल कैपिटल, अनलेस यू हैव अ लॉट ऑफ मनी इन योर बैंक अकाउंट.
Right. Again, there is a question someone asked about SKUs and inventory. So I would like to club it under one major question, like an umbrella question. I would like to understand how you manage operations and like how you started, like how you got into touch with manufacturers, how you started creating your first samples, packaging, designing packages, and then coming down to all the inventory part, how you manage inventory now, like what is the growth plan, how you get data from different channels, and how you utilize them to manage the whole operation.
अंडरस्टूड. सो मैं मेरे सेक्टर स्पेसिफिक बताता हूँ फूड में जैसा होता है. एंड आई थिंक दिस इज द सेम विद BPC एज वेल, ब्यूटी एंड पर्सनल केयर एज वेल. सो नेवर गो manufacturing heavy early on. ठीक है, manufacturing can be a lever to optimize your cost down the line. बट कभी ये मत सोचो कि आपको स्टार्ट में खुद का ही मैन्युफैक्चरिंग चालू करना है. भाई मेरे को तो खुद से मैन्युफैक्चर करना है, ऐसा नहीं करना.
Mm.
अदरवाइज यू वोंट बी एबल टू ग्रो एंड कोई और आके आपसे बहुत फास्ट एग्जीक्यूट करके चला जाएगा. सो लुक फॉर कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरर्स. यू कैन फाइंड देम ऑन इंडिया मार्ट, यू कैन फाइंड देम ऑन गूगल. अब हमारे केस में हमें फार्मा कंपनीज, न्यूट्रा कंपनीज ढूंढनी थी. तो 2-3 चीजें की. हम एग्जीबिशंस में गए, फूड एग्जीबिशंस, ingredient exhibitions. You find a lot of manufacturers over there. वो जनरली पर केजी बेसिस पे आपसे कुछ चार्ज देते हैं, राइट. सो फॉर एनी गिवन प्रोडक्ट 5 से 10% आप मान के चलो कि कॉन्ट्रैक्ट मैन्युफैक्चरर को जाएगा तो
Mm.
मैन्युफैक्चरिंग. ठीक है. सो you contact them via Google, India Mart, Trade India. These are platforms, and you also visit exhibitions. These are the 4 places where you come in contact with them. Okay. कॉल पे बात होगी आपकी उनके साथ. एंड Then they will ask you what is your requirement. आपको क्या बनाना है? You need to tell them what you have in your mind. And at this point, it is very good to have a person who has experience in formulating products in that category. So जैसे we have the ex NPD specialist at Whole Truth and Beast Life. तो जिसने Whole Truth प्रोटीन और Beast Life के लिए प्रोटीन पाउडर्स प्रोटीन बार्स बनाए थे, वो हमारे साथ एज अ कंसल्टेंट काम कर रहा था, इनफैक्ट कर रहा है. तो ही वाज गाइडिंग अस कि ये इंग्रेडिएंट्स का क्या रोल होता है, ये इंग्रेडिएंट्स कैसे हेल्प करेंगे, व्हाट आर द इंग्रेडिएंट्स वी कैन ऐड और सब्ट्रैक्ट, व्हाट कैन बी द प्रोसेस टू मेक दिस प्रोडक्ट. हर प्रोडक्ट को बनाने के लिए यू कैन हैव मल्टीपल स्टेप्स इन्वॉल्व. कौन सा स्टेप नेसेसरी है, कौन सा गुड टू हैव है, कौन सा हटाया जा सकता है जिससे कॉस्ट ऑप्टिमाइज हो सकती है, वो सब आपको कंसल्टेंट बता सकता है. एंड यू नीड टू हैव समवन हु इज ऑन योर साइड, हु इज गाइडिंग यू विद द टेक्निकलिटीज ऑफ इट. हैव अ कंसल्टेंट बाय योर साइड, ठीक है, preferably in the same city. If not, then have them online. Okay, talk to the contract manufacturer, tell them about the product that you want to make, tell them about the ingredients. If they can source the ingredients, that's good. Otherwise, you'll have to search for raw material suppliers again on IndiaMart, Google, exhibitions. It becomes a daunting task. So if the manufacturer can acquire the raw materials, generally they do, क्योंकि उनको अच्छे प्राइस में भी मिल जाता है, बल्क में एक्वायर करते वो लोग, then it's good. आप उनको बोलो, वो आपको मल्टीपल आइट्रेशंस करके भेजेंगे. ट्रायल होता है, इसको सेंसरी आइट्रेशंस बोलते हैं. जनरली 3 से 4 सेंसरी आइट्रेशन के अंदर आपका प्रोडक्ट बैठ जाता है. कुछ केसेस के अंदर 10-15 भी लग जाता है. एंड एक आइट्रेशन को लगभग 7 से 8 दिन लग जाते हैं. पहला आइट्रेशन होता है उसको समय लगता है, देन फॉलो ऑन आइट्रेशंस टेक लेस टाइम. So to formulate any kind of food product or any kind of BPC product, take a time period of at least 1.5 to 2 months. उतना लग जाता है. That's the realistic timeline. Once you get a hold of this process, once you have better relationship, once you start giving business to the manufacturer, आप उनसे बल्क में बनवाने लग जाते हो, बहुत सारा माल बनवाने लग जाते हो, then at that point you can expect कि आपका जो timeline है to formulate a new product, that reduces from 1.5 2 months to 2 weeks 3 weeks. But that comes at a later stage, basically.
Coming back to like in inventory management, like how you when you start growing, how you handle how much you need to manufacture and how much you need to supply.
So on marketplaces, there's a rule of thumb. Amazon. So there are 3 models on marketplaces. Amazon, Flipkart. These are the main ones. So I'll talk about them. इन पे आप 100 करोड़ 200 करोड़ का बिजनेस तो आप खाली मार्केट प्लेसेस पे बना सकते हो 1-2 साल के अंदर. इतना बड़ा स्कोप है इन एवरी कैटेगरी. ठीक है. तो अगर आपको इनके ऊपर स्केल करना है, देन 3 मॉडल्स होते हैं. वन इज यू शिप डायरेक्टली. तो आपको ऑर्डर आया डैशबोर्ड के ऊपर, आपने किसी कुरियर वाले से बात की कि भैया मेरे को यहाँ से यहाँ शिप करना है ऑर्डर, आपने शिप कर दिया. आपको अमेजोन, अगर आप ये कर रहे हो तो आपको बहुत लो रैंक करवाएगा. अमेजोन विल नॉट गिव यू प्रायोरिटी. वो आपके ब्रांड के बारे में कोई सर्च करेगा, आपके प्रोडक्ट के बारे में कोई सर्च करेगा, इट विल नॉट शो यू. ठीक है. वो उसको लोएस्ट प्रायोरिटी देता है. अमेजोन वांट्स एक्सट्रीमली गुड डिलीवरी टाइमलाइंस. ठीक है. वो कैसे आती है? अब 2 चीज है. ये तो सेल्फ शिप हो गया. सेल्फ शिप इज द लोएस्ट थिंग. नेवर डू सेल्फ शिप ऑन मार्केट प्लेसेस. फुलफिल्ड बाय अमेजोन करके एक चीज होती है और एक इजी शिप करके चीज होती है. यू नीड टू एम टू गेट इनटू दीज मॉडल्स. इजी शिप क्या होता है? एंड द सेम थिंग इज विद फ्लिपकार्ट, मिंत्रा, नाइका, एवरी प्लेटफॉर्म. सो इजी शिप क्या होता है बेसिकली कि आपको ऑर्डर आया, आपने बस ऑर्डर पैक करके रखा, अमेजोन का डिलीवरी वाला आएगा, वो पिक करेगा और कस्टमर को डिलीवर कर देगा 2-3 दिन में, 4 दिन में, जितना भी टाइम लगेगा. इसमें आपको अमेजोन 30% 40% प्रायोरिटी पे रखता है. फिर आता है FBA, दैट इज फुलफिलमेंट बाय अमेजोन और फुलफिलमेंट बाय फ्लिपकार्ट और मिंत्रा और बाय नाइका और एनी मार्केट प्लेस फॉर द मैटर ऑफ फैक्ट. वहां पे क्या होता है? वहां पे इनके बहुत बड़े बड़े वेयर हाउसेस होते हैं जो ये खुद ही मैनेज करते हैं. तो आप अपना प्रोडक्ट क्या करते हो? आप अपना प्रोडक्ट बेसिक पैकेजिंग के अंदर बल्क में प्रोडक्ट डाल के आप इनको भेज देते हो रेडी पैकेट्स में. ऑफ कोर्स बाहर की आउटर पैकेजिंग नहीं करते, कार्टन बॉक्सेस वो सब नहीं करते. आप इनको भेजते हो वेयर हाउस के अंदर, और जैसे जैसे ऑर्डर आता है वो डायरेक्टली अमेजोन के वेयर हाउस से शिप हो जाता है। अब इनके 9 स्टेट्स के अंदर वेयर हाउसेज है, एंड अगर आपको चाहिए कि अमेजोन आपको टॉप में दिखाए या कोई भी मार्केट प्लेस आपको टॉप में दिखाए, यू नीड टू बी प्रेजेंट इन ऑल द 9 स्टेट्स। इसमें लगभग ऑन एन एवरेज हर स्टेट के अंदर जीएसटी रजिस्टर करा के एडिशनल प्लेस ऑफ बिजनेस लेके इन वेयर हाउसेज में सामान पहुंचाने का कॉस्ट आता है 16 to 20,000। So you need to plan for 2 to 2.5 lakh rupees just to sort out your FBA and FBF, Best Fulfillment by Amazon, Fulfillment by Flipkart। ये आपने कर लिया, मतलब आप समझ लो आप 100% आपने ऑप्टिमाइज कर लिया आपका डिलीवरी। अब आपको करना क्या है, आपको स्टार्ट करना है 1 महीने की डिलीवरी, आपको स्टार्ट करना है 1 महीने का इन्वेंट्री रख के। स्टार्ट में डोंट ब्लॉक योर मनी इन वर्किंग कैपिटल, और
इन्वेंटरी।
डोंट ब्लॉक योर मनी। 1 महीने का इन्वेंट्री रखो, उससे ज्यादा का मत रखो, ठीक है। आपका बीच में अमेजोन पे स्टॉकआउट भी हो सकता है, अगर वो हो रहा है तो बहुत अच्छा प्रॉब्लम है, थोड़ा नेगेटिव उससे इफेक्ट आता है, बट यू शुड नॉट ब्लॉक योर मनी, वो सॉल्व हो जाएगा इवेंचुअली, ठीक है। यू विल अंडरस्टैंड आपको कितना रिक्वायरमेंट आ रहा है, कितने स्टेट से आ रहा है, आप अकॉर्डिंगली उस स्टेट में उतना ही माल भेजो। साउथ से ज्यादा आ रहा है, साउथ में बैंगलोर में चेन्नई में आप ज्यादा भेजो, नॉर्थ में आप कम भेजो। एंड दिस इज द इजिएस्ट वे एंड दिस इज द मोस्ट एफिशिएंट वे टू मैनेज योर इन्वेंट्री, ठीक है। यहाँ पे बुलवाओ आपके सेंट्रल वेयर हाउस पे, एंड देन शिप इट टू अमेजोन एंड फ्लिपकार्ट वेयर हाउसेस, राइट। एंड हर स्टेट में खोलने का आई टोल्ड यू द कॉस्ट, तो लगभग अगर आपको 9 से 10 स्टेट में खुलवाना है 2 लाख रुपए लेके चलो कॉस्ट आएगा। तो इससे आपको इन्वेंट्री का आइडिया लग जाता है। तो 1 महीने की जो इन्वेंट्री है वो लगभग लगभग आप स्टार्ट कर रहे हो तो 100% आपके मार्केट प्लेसेस पे ही जाएगी। एंड जनरली ऐसा होता है कि एक हफ्ते से ज्यादा अगर कोई प्रोडक्ट आउट ऑफ स्टॉक रहता है तो इट अफेक्ट्स नेगेटिवली इन टर्म्स ऑफ रैंकिंग ऑन मार्केट प्लेसेस। यू कैन कीप योर मैन्युफैक्चरर रेडी कि अभी मेरे पास एक और मैं बैच भिजवाऊंगा आपको, बनवाऊंगा आपसे, बट डोंट ब्लॉक योर मनी इन मोर देन 1 month वर्थ ऑफ इन्वेंट्री। आप वापस बनवा लेना, जनरली 10 दिन का टाइम लगता है। तो अगर मेरे को अगले महीने के लिए इन्वेंट्री रेडी करानी है, मैं 20th ऑफ दिस मंथ को चालू करवा दूंगा प्रोसेस। दैट शुड बी बेसिकली हाउ यू शुड प्लान एवरी मंथ इन्वेंट्री एंड मैन्युफैक्चरिंग।
एक बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट क्वेश्चन था, लाइक आई थिंक वी मिस्ड इट। हाउ डू यू डिजाइन पैकेजिंग? क्योंकि ये अगेन प्रोडक्ट रिसर्च के बाद दिस इज वन ऑफ द मेजर थिंग्स, क्योंकि packaging is one of the thing which attracts a lot of eyeballs in marketplaces or even on quick commerce platforms. So how you go about designing your packages and making premium packaging?
अंडरस्टूड। तो इसमें सबसे पहला स्टेप आता है ब्रांडिंग का। द
Hmm.
फर्स्ट थिंग दैट यू थिंक अबाउट इज ब्रांडिंग, राइट। एंड ब्रांडिंग कंसिस्ट ऑफ विजुअल आइडेंटिटी एज वेल एंड कम्युनिकेशन एज वेल। आपका क्या कम्युनिकेशन है? सबसे सिंपल चीज अगर आपको करनी है टू स्टार्ट विद, to start brainstorming on what your brand actually is, how do you want to position it? Think of your brand as a person, as a human being, और अगर वो एक इंसान होता तो वो क्या इंसान होता। ट्राई करो उसको किसी मूवी के कैरेक्टर के साथ रिलेट कर पाओ कि यार फॉर एग्जाम्पल कुछ ब्रांड्स है जो एकदम मदर वाला कैरेक्टर प्ले करते हैं, बहुत अच्छी अच्छी मार्केटिंग करते हैं, आपका ध्यान रखेंगे, आपकी केयर करेंगे इन द बीपीसी पर्सनल केयर स्पेस। डव हो गया जैसे, राइट। एक पैराशूट ऑयल वाला आता है, मदर डेयरी आता है माँ जैसी। सो वो मदर का आर्केटाइप प्ले करता है। सो थिंक, बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट चीज है, थिंक ऑफ योर ब्रांड एज अ पर्सन। इफ योर ब्रांड इज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग और अ पर्सन, व्हाट वुड दैट रिप्रेजेंट? नाउ होल ट्रुथ रिप्रेजेंट्स अ रिबेल, कि भाई मार्केट के अंदर जो चल रहा है हम उसको अपफ्रंट आके स्टेटस को किल कर देंगे, हम एक रिबेल बन के आएंगे, हम जो है साफ साफ बोलेंगे, हम शुगर कोट नहीं करेंगे, right? So they look at themselves as sort of Kabir from that movie, Shahid Kapoor वाली एक movie थी, right? They think of themselves as that character. So associate yourself with a character so that you can design the traits, the communication, the tone. तो आपको कौन से टोन में बात करना है, आपको कैसे विजुअल्स रखने हैं, आपको बहुत chaotic विजुअल्स रखने हैं, आपको बहुत मिनिमलिस्टिक रखने हैं, आपको क्या कलर्स रखने हैं, वो सब आपको पहले डिसाइड करना है। एंड इसमें ब्रांडिंग में आपको ब्रांडिंग का एक बहुत बड़ा पार्ट होता है ब्रांड का नाम डिसाइड करना। डोंट गेट फिक्सेटेड ऑन वन नेम। आप क्या करो, आप गूगल फॉर्म बनाओ, उसमें 5 से 10 नाम आपके जो टॉप है, सर्कुलेट इन योर क्लोज ग्रुप ऑफ फ्रेंड्स पीपल। उसमें उनसे फीडबैक लो कि अगर वो एक नाम चूज करे तो क्यों चूज कर रहे हैं। आप उनको प्रोडक्ट बता दो कि मेरा ये प्रोडक्ट है, ठीक है, मेरा फॉर एग्जाम्पल मैंने सोप बना दिया, इस सोप से टैन हट जाता है, ठीक है, तो अब मैं इसको क्या नाम दूं, मैं इसको डी टैन नाम दे दूं, मैं इसको स्क्रबर नाम दे दूं, कुछ फैंसी सा नाम दूं, क्या नाम दूं, ठीक है। तो यू गिव देम 10 ऑप्शंस फॉर एग्जाम्पल, एंड देन ask them in the same form कि if you chose this name, if you chose a specific name, why did you choose it? क्योंकि वो प्रोसेस में आपको 10 से 12 दिन लगेगा। नेम इज अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग, ठीक है,
Yes.
10 से 12 दिन आपको वो करने में जाएगा। उसके बाद में आप ब्रांड का आर्केटाइप डिसाइड करो कि आपका ब्रांड एक्चुअली है कौन, हीरो है, रेबेल है, मैजिशियन है, या डॉक्टर है, या मदर है, या हु इज योर ब्रांड इफ ही वाज अ ह्यूमन बीइंग, ठीक है। आप टोन डिसाइड करोगे, आप कम्युनिकेशन डिसाइड करोगे। तो जब टोन और कम्युनिकेशन डिसाइड हुआ, फिर आपके विजुअल्स बनने चाहिए होंगे, दैट इज लोगो। देन कम्स योर पैकेजिंग, पैकेजिंग कम्स लास्ट, ठीक है। ये प्रोसेस होते होते आपको लगभग 1.5 to 2 months लग जाएंगे if you're working with someone who has good creativity, who has good designing skills. So प्लीज प्लीज प्लीज, कोई भी अगर चालू कर रहा है, ब्रांडिंग को एक इन्वेस्टमेंट देखना। ब्रांडिंग आपकी कंपनी के लाइफ टाइम तक आपके साथ रहेगी। ऑफ कोर्स यू कैन रीब्रांड, बट एट अ लेटर स्टेज बहुत मुश्किल होता है। अर्ली स्टेजेस में तो आपने फिर भी लोगो चेंज कर दिया, ब्रांड चेंज कर दिया, 1 साल के अंदर अंदर वो ठीक है। लेकिन आप स्टार्ट कर रहे हो, आप मान के चलो ब्रांडिंग के अंदर 1 लाख से 1.5 लाख रुपए खर्चा आएगा। इनफैक्ट आप 50,000 से 1 लाख रुपए भी दे सकते हो, बट यू शुड consider 1 lakh rupees to get your name finalized, to get your tone, brand archetype, visuals, some elements, some design styles, fonts, color palette, and your first set of packaging design के लिए आप 1 लाख रुपए साइड में रखना। तब आपको कुछ अच्छे क्वालिटी का काम मिलेगा, which you can actually sell to public, for which people will actually pay, and you will stand out from other people. So associate or come in touch with people who are into branding, who are into packaging design. आपको बहुत लोग मिल जाएंगे LinkedIn पे, and you should keep aside this set of money and think of it as an investment. In fact, एक कंपनी है डॉटन की करके, उसका फाउंडर पॉडकास्ट पे आके सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट चीज जो बोलता है, उनके लिए जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट इन्वेस्टमेंट रहा है, वो ये रहा कि उन्होंने पैकेजिंग के ऊपर बहुत ज्यादा पैसा स्पेंड किया। So that is the most important thing. So they spent a lot on packaging, and that is the most important investment that they made, because that helped customers perceive that product as premium. So don't think of this as a cost, think of this as an investment.
So there is a question, and I'm also interested in this question. I think,
Mhm.
did Pites at Bitspilani help you in any way in getting anything like from contacts to first customer or things like that?
So basically, I'll just tell you, Seller Setu के time पे we raised a government grant, ठीक है, and we were about to raise a angel round of around 1 CR. हमारा हो गया था, कंप्लीट हो ही गया था राउंड, लेकिन हमने उसको रेज क्यों नहीं किया, बिकॉज हमें पता था ये बिजनेस चलने नहीं वाला है, तो हमने सामने से फोरगो कर दिया। बट वही सेम इन्वेस्टर्स ने हमारा बियॉन्ड द शुगर के अंदर फर्स्ट राउंड लीड किया, एंजल इन्वेस्टर्स ने। तो वो रिलेशनशिप बेसिकली बनी हुई थी। इसके बीच में देयर वाज अ स्टिंट where we thought we would raise from Pirates, where they generally give 5 lakhs for 2% equity. बट हमें 5 लाख की जरूरत नहीं थी, वी नीडेड मोर, दैट इज व्हाई वी वर रेजिंग once year. तो इंक्यूबेटर्स का रोल बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है स्टार्ट के अंदर। वो 5 लाख किसी के लिए स्टार्ट करने का पूरा सॉर्ट ऑफ ट्रेजरी हो सकता है, जो ब्रांडिंग में हेल्प कर देगा, जो मार्केट प्लेस को लिस्ट करने में हेल्प कर देगा, जो फर्स्ट सेट ऑफ प्रोडक्ट बनाने में हेल्प कर देगा। एमओक्यू, क्योंकि मैन्युफैक्चरर्स का एमओक्यू भी ज्यादा होता है, या तो 500 बॉटल बोल देंगे या तो 500 किलो बोल देंगे, डिपेंडिंग ऑन विच कैटेगरी यू आर इन। तो 5 लाख 10 लाख वो स्टार्टिंग में अमाउंट बहुत ज्यादा मैटर कर सकता है। एंड आपको अगर कंप्लायंस रिलेटेड कुछ हेल्प चाहिए, जैसे डॉक्यूमेंटेशन, आईपी फाइलिंग, रजिस्ट्रेशन, ये सब में हेल्प होता है. हमें इनसे कोई हेल्प नहीं मिली थी, बट ये करते हैं. So I would not speak ill of them, but I think there are better incubators that you should reach out to. Incubators का role बहुत important होता है. If nothing, then Pirates is also a good option. It's better than having no one, basically.
Uh, but
Incubators को तो आपको start में reach out करना ही चाहिए.
Mhm.
does Piles
I
invest
think
in these startups though?
Sorry, Siddharth.
Does Piles did you reach out to Piles regarding any monetary matlab funding or like, because I'm also building something in this space and they said ki they are not willing to fund any D2C consumer food brands as such, and
Understand.
uh, any other help matlab incubation is also, I mean, they're being very reluctant to it. I have submitted my pitch deck but nothing's turned out.
Makes sense. तो I'll tell you one thing. Pirates का जनरली ऐसा ही रहता है. वो शायद टेक और उसी में करते हैं, डीप टेक,
Mhm.
एज एंड एवरीथिंग. But there are a lot of incubators. You can go to SISFS की website, Startup India Seed Fund Scheme की website. You can find a lot of incubators that receive government funds for distribution. You can approach them for funding, and that is, I think, the best place to start. Each incubator has its own area of expertise or own area where they want to invest. एंड मोस्ट ऑफ द इंक्यूबेटर्स आर सेक्टर एग्नोस्टिक. मतलब वो फूड में भी करेंगे, वो टेक में भी करेंगे. बहुत कम होते हैं जो कुछ बोलते हैं कि भाई मैं खाली एग्री में करूंगा, मैं खाली डीप टेक में करूंगा, मैं खाली डिफेंस टेक में करूंगा. बहुत कम होता है, या मैं खाली हेल्थ टेक में करूंगा. मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर सेक्टर एग्नोस्टिक. In fact, I'll recommend incubator or two whom you can reach out to. हमने जिससे हेल्प किया था दैट वाज जीतो इंक्यूबेटर. Jito is Jain International Trade Organization. Since if one of your co-founders is Jain, they are of great help, great network, great money, great resources. So you can reach out to them. But if not, I have other incubators as well, जो कि decent है and they have a good reputation. तो incubators से पैसा मिलना easy होता है through government schemes. Pides नहीं कर रहा है, which means कि Pides के thesis में नहीं है. You should reach out to other incubators by checking them on their website and finding them through SISFS. एंड देन फिर उनको पूछो कि आपके पास गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स में कौन कौन सी स्कीम्स अवेलेबल है. निधि ऐसा निधि स्कीम होती है एक, टाइड माइटी स्कीम होती है. उसके बाद में SISFS का ग्रांट होता है, स्टार्टअप इंडिया सीड फंड स्कीम का ग्रांट होता है जो आपको 20 लाख रुपए तक फ्री पैसा दे सकते हैं. लेकिन उसके प्रोसेस में लगभग 2 से 3 महीना जाता है, स्टार्ट होने से इंटरव्यूज होने तक, क्लोज होने तक. So keep that timeline in mind, be patient, and you will get one or the other government scheme for sure.
And one more thing, I wanted to know about how you got your product license, because FSCI license is something that I'm currently struggling with. So it is a government thing, and it's completely online as well. So me, I'm based from Pilani. I wanted to start operations in Pilani, but it was not possible because many people aren't that compliant in Rajasthan. There's no licensing for food things. I'm working in the chicken industry,
Mm-hmm.
so there is not much of legal compliance in Rajasthan. It's a village, but I want to start this in Hyderabad, and I just wanted to know what is an easy route so that I can get my license as soon as possible, both manufacturing and distribution stuff.
So basically, state wise फूड फसाई जो बॉडी है वो डिफर होती है थोड़ी. हर जगह का every state has a body that is one state might have a lenient body, one state might have a strict body, right? One state might take you 2 months to register, get yourself registered as a manufacturer or repacker or a relabeler. And let's take for example, I'm in Mumbai. The office is in Bandra. One of my co-founders used to go and sit on their head. कि सर हुआ क्या, सर हुआ क्या. He has it on his laptop. He just has to press a button and you get an e-copy. So it's there on their laptops. वो करते नहीं है. So if we can go physically visit them, nothing like it. जाओ उनके सर पे बैठ जाओ, सर हुआ क्या, सर प्लीज कर दो, सर मैं स्टूडेंट हूँ, I want to start my business. ठीक है, they'll do it. but take a time period of 1 month. And best if you can get a consultant. Generally, they charge around 5 to 10,000 to get your license registered. Okay, and फिर उनके connections होते हैं तो they get it done in time. Basically, you won't have to go physically to the office.
So I'd spoken to Priyanshu actually about the product that I'm building about 5 months ago during the winter break. He said that I also asked him questions related to quick commerce, how you guys plan to go into Blinkit. I've heard that Blinkit charges about, they have some codes or something for, they give you 100 codes for about 80,000 rupees, something I've heard. Is that
So,
per SKU? क्या है वो?
so I'll tell you कैसा होता है. Blinkit is more like Amazon and Zepto is like Flipkart. Okay, what difference है दोनों में कैसे run होता है? Now Blinkit is an open platform. You pay 25,000 to get one product listed. Now by one product I mean I can sell 100 grams, 200 grams, 300 grams variants under the same 25,000 listing. Okay. But अगर मैं different product बना रहा हूँ, I have to pay 25,000 again. Right.
So for the same product, you have different flavors that comes under one or 25,000 wala.
I think flavor would come as a different product, but size variants come as the same product. Flavor would come as a different product.
Okay. And do you have any idea of the minimum inventory that you hold in the quick commerce thing?
I think it depends state wise. Now, for example, generally the availability at their warehouses is low, so they won't be calling in much. If something at a later stage, for example, one year you've been on quick commerce and you're doing good, then they might ask for larger quantities. Otherwise, you can have 20 to 30% of your quantity kept aside for quick commerce, not more than that. Whatever you're making, it can be 50 packets, it can be 100, it can be 200, it can be 1,000 as well. If that's your 20%, basically.
We'll take more question if you have. You can raise hand.
Uh, Hello, Pranav. I am Atharv. I'm a 2024 pass out from BITS Pilani Hyderabad campus, and recently I started up with a project which is in B2B marketing thing for offline ad campaigns, which is there.
Yeah.
So I heard you talking about the funding schemes and different incubators which are there. So I just wanted to build a platform, but I'm ready with the MVP. But I just wanted to scale it before like testing phase, like mentorship and testing. I need for my product as of now. So, like since the DPIIT registration is required for registering in Startup India's scheme, I guess. So, how to get to that DPIIT scheme? Because it is, I have heard and I have also tried also. It's tough to get without paying something to them or something like this. Is it so?
I think you might be in touch with the agent or something. हमने तो इसको किया था. It was not worth more than 15-20
I
minutes
think
worth of it.
if you reach out to BITS Pilani's incubation center, they'll get everything done for you. इस
In-
चीज के लिए they are very good at this.
I think you can get it done yourself as well.
Yeah.
You should see some videos on YouTube. We got it done 15-20 minutes. I don't think the process has changed right now. So we also got the DPIIT registration.
I'm
That
actually
was
working on this as well. What you need is just the USB of the DSC. So if you have that, फिर तो हो जाएगा. In my case, I didn't have it, so I'm applying for it and I'll get it. It's a very simple process.
Can you please repeat what did you tell? USB. What was it?
The digital signature certificate. You need to plug that into your computer, and then it will verify that you are the owner of this business, etc. And it'll get it registered pretty quickly.
Okay.
I'm yet to receive my USB for the digital signature certificate, but I think once you have that, it is pretty straightforward.
Okay. And will the Udyam certificate work out here for MSME or something like this?
I have not tried the Udyam route, so I can't comment.
Okay, okay.
There is one question like how do you decide on which type of company you have to register? For example, I think you might have gone through the private limited route, but private limited has a lot of compliance.
हमें पता था, we were sure that we need to raise funding. Second month onwards, once we launch the product. So I think I have to talk about, although I mean we're running out of time, but
Sorry.
एक दो चीजें जो बोल के जो बिना बोला I don't think it will be complete. So incubators have kind of exposure, offline exposure, which you need to be a part of, and that is 100% needed to get your PMF done. So हमारा जो PMF आया था, that came through offline exhibition जो हमने किया था, and that was in very rough packaging. It was not finalized, but we got our product tasted by around 1,000 people, out of which 950 people liked the taste and liked the price at which we were selling. So price verify हो गया, taste verify हो गया. Those were the two what ifs in our business model. So we solved for the what ifs. We got to understand कि product अच्छा है. वहाँ से हमें product अच्छा है वो पता चला. So you should be a part of these incubators because these guys do a lot of exhibitions. You at least come in touch with 50, 100 people and you get to sample your products for free, mostly for free. And that is one of the biggest leverage. Although it is unscalable, but it is quick. It gives you instant feedback. And that is one of the biggest reasons of being with an incubator. Even if they're not funding you, be a part of them, get incubated. Of course, if they're taking equity, choose कि कौन से incubator के साथ जाना है. Don't distribute equity like this. Max 2 incubator, not more than that. ठीक है, because these guys take equity, and utilize them to the maximum. Be a part of the offline events during the start. Get your product tasted by as many people as you can. Get the feedback, or get your people. In your case, Atharva, get your product tested, or um, pitch it to someone who's coming in the offline events, and that's I think one of the biggest playgrounds where you can test your product. So yeah, Ujjwal, coming back to your question, I think I missed your question.
Yeah, so like, how do you decide on which type of company you should register? And I got it
Okay.
from the point that you wanted to raise funding, and I think
So
private
say
limited is the
if you're
best
looking to
vehicle.
even think of registering a LLP, because again, converting from LLP to private limited, you will have to spend money.
Yeah.
No compliances as such. I am currently running one, but after you raise an institutional round, the compliances come in. So not a lot of compliances before that. If you have a good CA, he'll take care of all the compliances. Keep aside 35 to 40,000 on a yearly basis for a CA. Okay, he'll do a decent job. You won't have to worry about anything. My take is that you should have a compliance checklist ready. So there are certain filings. So there are 4 to 5 filings that the CA needs to do. Okay, those are the only compliances. But sometimes what happens is that the CA forgets, and you have to pay the penalty or you have to pay the fines for the filings that are due. So just ask the CA, hey, just send me a list of all filings that are due for this year. Okay, so I can keep a check. And whenever that filing is due, 1 month before that, nudge him कि यार एक महीने पहले कर देते, 15 दिन पहले कर देते. Nothing else, no other compliance is there. Okay, CA आप LLP में हो तो भी आपको रखना है, प्राइवेट लिमिटेड में हो तो भी रखना है. No other difference in compliance before you
So,
raise it.
how much does it cost to get the private limited company started from scratch?
25 to 30K. 25 to 30K.
I think that's good starting point. So, like, last question I would like to ask for you, like, before you leave. Can you recommend 3 speakers who might add value from the next session onwards, which we can invite?
Uh, so I don't know if you've heard about paper content.
Yes, I heard.
Paper
Peppercorn.
content is a really good startup. Okay, it's
Mm-hmm.
a really good startup. You should have someone from paper content. If you cannot get the CEO, get someone from the team. Okay, they're doing really good in the branding, marketing side of things. They have a lot of exposure and they can give you a lot of value as to how to market things. Uh, I think you should contact um, Aditya, Aditya Thakur, if you can come in touch with him, or I can ask Priyansh to get you in touch with him. Aditya Thakur is doing fantastic building a tech product in San Francisco. He's raised about what I think $1 million, and he's doing pretty good. So he
What's the
might be,
name of his company?
यार वो बहुत पिवट करता रहता है, हर 6 महीने में पिवट कर लेता है, फंडिंग रेज कर लेता है. Currently what he's building, I'm not sure about the name. I think it's Iterate AI or not. I'm not sure. Aditya Thakur, just search on LinkedIn. He's doing a pretty good job. Then
Okay.
there's Saksham Agarwal. I don't know if you know him. Cardboard AI. He is a part
I've heard.
creator. He's a good friend. I'm in touch. I can ask him if he's available, and he might be very relevant if you want to do something in the tech space again. So marketing हो गया, ये हो गया. Food space में यार, D2C space में I'm not very sure. I know someone good from Bits. Of course, we are in touch with a few bigger people like Swiggy के co-founders and ऐसे लोग हैं, लेकिन I don't think they would be available for a talk.
Right. So how do you get in touch with these people? Like, is there a way that you network out?
You have professors. You come in touch with professors at these campuses. इनके पास सारे alumni के numbers होते हैं. Leverage your professors network. हमें जितने भी कनेक्ट्स मिले मैक्सिमम बिट्स लानी के alumni के, वो प्रोफेसर्स और व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप्स के थ्रू थे. सो ओके, देयर इज वन बेको के फाउंडर को अगर आप बुला सकते हो, और एनीवन फ्रॉम देयर टीम. बेको इज डूइंग अ फिनोमिनल जॉब इन द D2C space. If anyone is building in the D2C space, Siddharth, you might be knowing them. Beko, they're building bamboo based home and decor products. Consumer में ही है, so they have a very good idea. I think they're a very big company right now. You might not be knowing, but you might be using their tissue papers. You might be knowing their disposables at your home or someplace. It's a very big company now. So you can ask someone from the Beko team. Now they might not be the founders. Aditya Ruya is a founder. I'm in touch with him, but again, he's someone who's very busy. So you can get someone from the team. They can guide you, and they can have a very
Sure.
good session on
Sure.
creating a home and decor D2C brand, something like that.
I have a personal question. As you are working on some part of your company is in D2C, so
Yeah.
you mentioned one of the point that there is customer acquisition cost and then there is retention. So on retention part, you may know like around 700 million people use WhatsApp in India, and most of the automation tools on WhatsApp like send pre-built messages. So here at Bits, some of me and some of my friends we are working on AI agents that persuade customer to buy from you, and they directly send payment links, and they automatically set up all the pickup and delivery through Ziprocket or other integrations. How do you think about this idea, and like would something like this would be interesting for D2C founders or even founders in industries which need customers to come to website or directly through chatbots?
I think Abhi, very recently I was talking to folks from Bytespeed. Now Bytespeed is again a very good startup. Bits ka hi founder hai. He's building one of the biggest companies in this WhatsApp uh, automation space. Companies have experienced 20-30% increase in retention rates, mainly D2C companies, food, beverages, home and decor. Now they are doing exactly this. What you're saying. There's Bytespeed, there is Stereo. जहाँ पे you can set up AI agents who recover abandoned carts by calling people. So वो लोग call करेंगे directly at a set time, and they will tell people कि hey, you left this product in the cart. You won't even recognize that it's not an AI. So that's how good they've gotten. Specifically Bytespeed, although they charge 20,000 per month for this one WhatsApp automation, but we're at the scale currently where we can afford them. Otherwise, there are certain cheaper alternatives जो हम start में use कर रहे थे, and those are also good. There's Bot Space, there's Cheerio AI. Cheerio is again few good folks are there from Bits Pilani only. So all these companies are doing these automations. I think it's a very saturated market, I would say. So I mean, not something that I would recommend.
I have
Thank
one
you.
question. Pranav.
Yeah.
It won't take long, but it's just that currently I'm in Pilani. We have a company right now. In 15 days, I go back to Hyderabad, and I want to start Ultimate Chicken is what I'm building.
Okay.
So it's ready to eat. It's literally a chicken breast ready to eat. You remove it out of the back and then have a bite, right? So that's the product. And I'm thinking about compliance, like FSSAI, the lab testing part of it, and all of that. So do you suggest that I just get an agent to go through this process that will get the lab testing done basically
Do
end
you
to
have
end?
the product ready? First question is, do you have the product ready? Do you have the product ready? Reach out to a lab called Arbro in Delhi or Equinox.
I reached out to this one. It's NABL certified Eurofins. Uh,
Eurofins is very costly at this stage. I think you
yes,
can go to them later on.
they've given me the
If
code.
you can afford, then it's good.
It is very expensive. Yes.
हम यूरोफिन से अभी करवाने लगे हैं. हम इसके पहले दूसरे लैब से कराते थे. Go to NABL certified lab. Go to Arbro. Okay. ARBRO. Okay. They are cheaper in that sense. NABL certified है. I don't think for lab testing you need a food consultant.
Yeah.
But of course, for formulating products, you need a food consultant. So you can have them. The best structure to have them would be on a monthly retainer basis. So concentrate your new product development activities in that 1 month. Try to get as many products as much as you can get them formulated in that 1 month. Pay him for that 1 month. If you're formulating new products in the second month, keep him. Otherwise, tell him that ये महीना अपन pause करते हैं. We'll again continue when I have new products to develop. That is how they work. Generally, you can get a food consultant for 15 to 20K per month. So now it's up to you to utilize him to formulate 3 products, 2 products, 5 products, new
Right.
flavors, whatever. उनका काम ये होना चाहिए. अगर मैं end to end बताऊं तो वो आपको आपको उनको बस बताना है what do you want to make, what is it that you are desiring. Okay, what is it that you are imagining. They will tell you potential ingredients that should go. They will send you a rough recipe. They will suggest a contract manufacturer that can manufacture this. They will do the to and fro with the contract manufacturer. Okay, they
Okay.
will get you the iterations so you can have a sensory uh, testing, and post those iterations. Then the product is finalized, and then they will help you in the end with the labeling part of it. So these are the deliverables of a food consultant. If anything is missing, look for a new person. Okay.
Okay.
One of the biggest, uh, I should say, roadblocks or challenges is that early on we did not have a food consultant that was in the same city as us. एक एक iteration का to and fro करने में 10 15 दिन लग रहे थे, and we were not able to coordinate with it. We are not able to coordinate that much. So have a consultant who does all these. Don't compromise on any one of these service deliverables, and I think you'll have a excellent new product development roadmap for the next couple of months sorted. They
Yeah.
also help with compliances. अगर कोई भी FSI related compliance आया, they can help. But FSI, I think it's your cup of tea. You're smart enough to get that done. You don't
Like
need a
I've
consultant.
मतलब central licensing के लिए तो like this is my plan of action. I want to get it done from a contract manufacturer. I think that is the best route as you mentioned. But I'll have to still get an FSSAI license for my product distribution, right? As a relabeler or something for the start, right? So in that process, I'll need to get a central license for quick commerce, e-commerce, etc. So how long does that process take? Because I've been reverted by FSSAI for the longest time, at least here in Pilani, and Pilani mein to compliance. My meat vendor has trouble in giving documentation because his is,
Where is your repackaging facility?
haven't decided on that yet.
So don't get it done in a place where where they are not very up to the mark in terms of service or in terms of timings. दिल्ली करवा लें, या फिर दिल्ली के रीजन में जितने भी आते हैं जो दिल्ली फसाई ऑफिस जाते हैं जो भी लाइसेंसेस वो देखिए. Where do you stay, by the way?
I stay in Hyderabad.
So check that out. Generally, tier 1 cities can their approvals are faster.
Okay.
That's what we have observed. जैसे इंदौर के अंदर I think it's the fastest. तो इंदौर के आसपास जितने भी एरिया आते हैं, I think वो सब इंदौर ही आता है. MP के I think जितने भी लाइसेंसेस होते हैं सब इंदौर जाते हैं. तो MP में it's quite easy. तो पिलानी में तेरे को डिफिकल्टी फेस करनी पड़ेगी बिकॉज इट्स राजस्थान प्रॉब्ली. दैट इज व्हाई हैदराबाद में आई थिंक हैदराबाद में ही कसाई का हेडक्वार्टर होगा उस एरिया का, उस रीजन का. तो यू कैन गो एंड नज देम ऑफलाइन, यार कर दो एंड दैट इज हाउ वी गॉट इट डन. अदरवाइज हमें भी 3 महीना लग जाता.
Okay. But
We
do
got
people
it done.
typically come to, let's say, the manufacturing place to look at the process, etc., which inspection?
Are you going to be the manufacturer?
No.
No, so they're not going to come.
Okay. So it should be a pretty streamlined process. And also, what about my this thing, lab testing? Does lab testing come into the play for FSSAI?
uh, I think it does. I think it does. You should ask. Are you in contact with your contract manufacturer?
No, not really. I still have to look for one in Hyderabad.
It is a proprietary food product, right? It goes
It
under
is-
the category.
Nay, it's processed meat. I think it's 8.3 or something on.
I think lab test might be required. Yes.
Okay.
From what I remember, lab test is required to get the license. Central license है तो रहता है.
ठीक है. All right.
So with this, I think we should wrap this. Thank you, Pranav, for sharing everything.
No,
If
it
you
was
have,
a session quite interactive, and I think we can be in touch whenever any one of you requires any kind of help. Yeah, Atharva.
Yeah.
Just wanted to know this thing only, like how can we again revert back to you and get in connection?
I'll in that case I'll drop my number, WhatsApp number. You can reach out to me on WhatsApp. Sometimes the reply might be delayed because
Okay.
a lot of
No worries. I'll just message you. If,
drop my mail. Sometimes the reply is faster on mail. So if you can drop me a mail.
okay.
So I'll drop my mail and phone number. You can reach out to me wherever you find it convenient.
Also, Pranav, one last question. Your first round, you said you raised because you were already in. You raised from the same investor. At what valuation did you raise, and what stage was the startup at?
Currently, so valuation we cannot disclose right now, but it is not a prize round. It is a CCD round. तो हमने 2 rounds raise कर लिए. अभी हम currently pre-seed कर रहे हैं 2.5 से 5 करोड़ का. Okay, and that is almost done. And इससे पहले हमने जो किया था that was a 40 lakh friends and family round. Friends and family because connect में ही थे हम सबसे.
So you gave out equity to them.
So it was a CCD round. So CCD round is basically, it is one of the easiest ways to raise funding in the early stages. CCDs में ऐसा होता है कि you have a condition where the convertible note or the convertible debenture converts into equity at a later stage.
So when
that
you
is fulfilled.
the valuation at when you raise, is that right?
Yeah. So most of the cases में ऐसा होता है कि for example you keep a condition where if I raise more than 5 crores at that point of time the CCD gets converted into equity. Or let's say if I raise an institutional round, then the CCD gets converted into equity. And the conditions can be set by you. Those are not standard, but 3-4 ही conditions होते हैं generally. Either it's money, either it's institution, or either it's timeline कि इतने महीने बाद convert हो जाएगा. So yeah.
Okay.
so I think with this we'll wrap it up. So
Perfect.
thanks for joining, Pranav.
Cool. Thanks for a good session and stay in touch, guys. If there's anything, do reach out. Happy to help.
Sure.
Okay. Bye.
Thank you.
Thanks, Pranav.
Bye.
Bye, Pranav. Thanks.
Thanks, Pranav. Bye.
Bye.